Welcome to this week's Swarf and Chips 10-minute tour, sponsored by Indigo. I've got Paul here and we're at Brown and Holmes. We are going to take you on a little tour, but first of all, Paul wanted to explain kind of what you do and what you're specialist in here at Brown and Holmes.
Well, the core business is design and manufacture of work holding, jigs, fixtures. We also get involved in make-to-print stuff, but to say the core of the business is the design. We've got quite a complex design office, running different softwares for different customers, and yeah, we're quite proud of the facility we got here.
So why have you gone for so many staff members here for your design team?
The customer-driven, some of it, from the point of view of different kinds of software, and we don't like to multitask from a point of different personnel working different software, so we tend to concentrate one guy will work on one kind of software.
Okay then, and what is it that you kind of are proud of, that you really specialise in? Because it's fixtures, but you've got a machine shop behind all of this, which we will see momentarily. So what is it you can say is your USP, I guess?
Good honestly, in 20 years of being at Brown and Holmes, I don't think I've ever come across a solution that we've not been able to achieve from a customer point of view.
Right.
So yeah, we just look at anything and we I believe, come up with a solution that perhaps nobody else can.
I think that's a challenge. So if you need a fixture, then there's a challenge there. Now, I think this gentleman over here is called Mick. I hope that's your name.
It is, yes.
Yes, we got it right. Mick, what's your job title here?
I'm the engineering manager at Brown and Holmes, and part of that job is running the design team.
And how are they all? Do they listen to what you say?
They do sometimes, yes. Yeah. No, they're a good bunch of guys, so yeah.
So what would you say is kind of like your proudest achievement whilst working here then? And, you know, we've just heard that there isn't a fixture that you can't produce. So what do you say makes you stand out from the crowd?
Yeah, I think it's that potential that Paul's already mentioned, that we are often challenged with tasks that we come up with a solution, and we've always managed to come up with that solution, no matter how demanding it may seem.
And customers, no, don't mention particular names, but you know, what sizes of companies are you dealing with here?
We deal with all sorts of companies, from smaller companies up to major blue chip companies in the UK and across the world.
Right, okay, thank you so much, Mick. I bet you were looking there. What was that? Leicester Tigers, right? We can see all the fans over here. Right, okay, we're going to head over into the machine shop now so you can get a little tour of what machines they're making these fixtures on, maybe some hints and tips as to what goes on inside and behind those closed doors. So welcome, Ash. Now, I know you've got quite a design facility over here, but let's just quickly find out about how you go from concept to manufacturing.
So we'll get an inquiry from a customer. That will usually include a model or drawings of some description of a component that they'd like to fixture. From that, we'll produce a concept and quote, get the customer approval, move through design, detail out, and then that will be issued to the shop floor as part of manufacture. That's where we'll get onto the machines, produce all the individual pieces, and then come back into the facility that we're in now, which will actually produce the finished product.
Right, and let's walk through. So what is it that your position is here then?
So I'm a design engineer here at Brown and Holmes, and my job will be to take those parts that we get from the customer and put those into a more solid form,
right. Ooh.
Which will be the...
We'll let cameraman Chris through. Keep going.
Which will then be to take that original concept and actually put that through into something that the guys here can machine. So as you'll see from the facility around us, we've got a nice variety of different brands of machine and different types of machine, specifically to produce each of these components. So in front of us here we've got the DMG Mori.
But you haven't actually used this machine yet, have you? You want to use it?
No, I would love to get my hands on this machine. Just having the time to actually get onto it and actually get 5 minutes to literally just have a play would be great.
Of course, just have a play with a nice big 5-axis machine. Now, just behind you, you maybe haven't seen it yet, but there's a whole manual area of machines as well, and it says above it, Steve's Training Centre. So what's this?
So this is actually our apprentice facility. It's not being used at the moment as the guys are actually out on the machine shadowing other people.
Oh, okay.
And this is named after one of our longest standing members, Steve Orme, who was our training officer for a very long time, who is now retired. And if you look up to your right, Chris, you'll be able to see a photo of when Steve and Graham Baker, who also is one of our long-standing members, were working back in the fitting shop when we only had one site.
I must admit, there's a real sense of history here, though, as well. I feel like it's still it's a company that's growing, but it's still kind of close, like a family as well.
Yeah, it's a very, very close-knit community between us, and a lot of the guys have been here almost for their entire working life. Like I say, Graham Baker and Steve Orme, they pretty much did their entire working life here.
Wow, okay. There is 2 facilities as well, so this is kind of the first half of this one. Right, I'm seeing plastic here and you're machining on a Doosan, so you've gone from a 5-axis Doomu, and now you're talking about a Doosan 3-axis, big table.
Yeah, so this is a 2,000 by 900 bed and gives us the ability to produce larger fixtures, or as in the case we've got here, a much smaller component but much quicker to produce.
I wasn't expecting to see you machining plastics, if I'm honest.
So we do a wide variety, everything from non-ferrous and plastics all the way through to tougher materials such as Inconel, titanium, and some of the harder steels, stainlesses, etc.
Now, you've got a lot of Mazak machines, and I know there's quite a few more over the other side of the facility. Why Mazak? What's your favourite machine?
So originally I'm Fanuc and Heidenheim born and bred. That's where I started off as an apprentice here at Brown and Holmes.
Yes.
So stuff like the little Bridgeport behind you.
Yes.
Here. That was pretty much one of the first machines that I started on when I started actually programming stuff.
I don't think we're going to see much inside of there, are we?
No.
It's a worn machine, it's a used machine.
Yeah, it's been with us for quite a while, but it's still quite an effective piece of kit. And it's one of the beauties of these machines. They do work forever and a day, and they work absolutely brilliantly.
Okay, and what do you enjoy as an engineer, before we go into the other half of the machine shop, what do you really enjoy about your job and your position?
It's the nice variety that we get here at Brown and Holmes that is great. From one day to another, you might be doing something that's more aerospace oriented, all the way through to medical, automotive, and anything in between, really.
Right, okay, I know you've just invested in Fusion 360, so we'll tell you a little bit more about that when we go into the other facility. So we've arrived in the other area of Brown and Holmes, and a little bit different because, of course, we're talking manual machines. My question to you is then, why have you still got these machines? They're still an integral part of your business, aren't they?
Yeah, so these machines have been a backbone of our industry for years and years now, and there's a lot of jobs that a CNC isn't really economical to do.
Yes.
So if you've got a complicated setup that requires multiple angles, doing that on a CNC machine is going to take forever and a day, and you're probably having 3 hours set up for maybe half an hour's worth of machining, whereas these you can set up much quicker and get them running quite a lot faster.
And you know what, it's interesting, your manual machines, it's about your setup times, and also the sizes of the tables. You know, big tables, you are making big fixtures, we saw them at the beginning.
Yeah.
You need these machines.
Yeah, so anything that's perhaps a complicated shape or requires something that's a bit bigger than a CNC can handle, they do have set sizes after all. The open air layout of these machines will allow you to get something much bigger, much more awkward to set up in such a small area.
Some of these as well, we've been talking to the team, some of the team members, they've been here 30 plus years. You've been telling me that some of these guys were teaching you when you were first a machinist.
Yeah, so a lot of the guys that work here have actually been teaching me when I was an apprentice. They've been working here much longer than that. We have operators here that have been working for the company for 40 plus years.
I mean, that's amazing. It's incredible. You're doing something right. I think that's the most important thing. You're doing something right to keep and hold on to people. And I think we've been talking about that quite a lot today, though, haven't we?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of a family attitude here. Everyone's really nice to each other. We've all spent a lot of time together and almost grown up together in some cases. There's a few guys that I work with in the design team were apprentices at the same time as I was, We've now got 3 apprentices here, along with quite a few trainees that are going to go through that same process and actually build up through the company.
Now, we said you had quite a few Mazaks, so we're literally surrounded by Mazaks right now. And you've got different team members on those. You've got Doosan over there, big Doosan there as well. But it's Steve, isn't it?
Yeah, Steve.
Yep, right, this is Steve here. Hiya, Steve. Sorry, I'm coming to pounce on you. Steve, we were talking earlier about Fusion 360. Can you just explain to everyone what it's done for the business?
For the business it's kept the spindles moving more because we have to rely on one guy before doing all the programming with 9 machines. But now we have a few laptops round, more people are using it, and production rates going through the roof, hopefully.
So what it's from Autodesk. What is the product itself? What does it do? It's part of the CAM software.
It's program CAM, so it's offline program, and we can get the model in, choose what tooling we need, design the program, upload the program to the machine, and start producing it.
And as an engineer, what do you like about it? I know you said about getting those parts through the door quickly, and that means a lot to you, but on a personal level, on an operator's level?
For me personally, I'm getting the opportunity to do more complex parts, getting to understand how things are made, really intricate shapes, components, getting used to fusion and doing it.
Right, okay, and I've got to ask you, favourite machine and why?
This one I'm working on.
Okay, so we've got the Mazak VTC, and why?
Because it's all touchscreen, easy to use, like a big iPad.
Okay, so we often talk about touchscreen, don't we? It's and what's quite interesting is the fact that we often say, oh, it's touchscreen, it's easy and everything like that, but as an operator, you prefer touchscreen. Why is that?
Yes, it's more easier and more quicker to use. If I go into a program, I can manipulate.
Yeah. Manipulate.
That's the word. And I can do anything. Easy to pick up units, programming, edit and use.
Yeah, because we often say that it's easy, it's touchscreen, it's the future, but actually to hear it from yourself is great. Thank you so much. What do you like about engineering?
Making things.
I like that. That's a great answer. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Right, okay, so just to finalise as well, we'll just keep going down because there is another big Mazak machine here. You've got a Sonic EDM. There was billets over there that were massive. And then you've got parts over here that you're making that is smaller as well. So kind of all in all, you know, what makes you proud to be here at Brown and Holmes?
I think we've covered it a few times. It's that family attitude that we've got here, the variation on the parts, and the fact that everyone gets along. We have worked together for years. We do a massive variety of parts, and it's just great to be here.
Right, great story. Thank you so much for watching Swarf and Chips here at Brown and Holmes. We've been here a few times and I can assure you we will definitely be back again. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on Swarf and Chips 10-minute tour.